Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Have you ever imagined holding a penny worth millions of dollars? A single coin so rare and valuable that it could change your life forever if you found it. It may sound like a fantasy or a collector's dream, but in the world of numismatics, strange and unexpected things do happen. In fact, there exists a penny, a 2016 1-cent coin, that is worth an eye-popping $290 million, a sum that seems almost too good to be true. But this isn't just a tale of a lucky find, it's a story of rarity, controversy, and historical significance that has captivated coin collectors and financial experts alike. The story begins in 2016, when the United States Mint issued the standard 1-cent coin, featuring Abraham Lincoln's iconic portrait on the obverse and a shield on the reverse. While millions of these pennies were struck and distributed across the country, only a very small number of them would become the focus of intense scrutiny and fascination. One of these pennies, in particular, stands out not only for its rarity but also for its incredible value. It all starts with an error, a seemingly small mistake that would have far-reaching consequences. The 2016 1-cent coin in question, which was produced at the Denver Mint, contains an anomaly that sets it apart from every other penny minted that year. It wasn't a mistake you would easily notice with the naked eye, nor was it a mistake that most casual observers would think twice about. But for those with an eye for numismatics, it was clear that this penny was anything but ordinary. You see, this penny wasn't supposed to exist. The 2016 1-cent coin, due to an unexpected flaw in the minting process, ended up being struck on a blank planchette, a metal disc meant to be stamped with the coin's design. Normally, these blanks are fed into the machine, which then presses the design onto the disc. But for some reason, the blank planchette for this particular coin failed to receive the intended design. This caused the penny to emerge from the press with no visible image of Abraham Lincoln, no shield, and no distinguishing marks of any kind. At first, this error was dismissed by many as a fluke, a minor mistake that would never see the light of day. But it didn't take long for keen-eyed collectors to realize that the absence of a design was precisely what made this coin so special. To understand why, we have to delve a little deeper into the world of coin collecting and the rarity of minting errors. In the numismatic world, errors are a big deal. A coin that is struck incorrectly, whether it be a misprint, a misalignment, or an under- or overstruck image, can significantly increase in value. The rarer the mistake, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some of the most famous coins in history were products of minting errors, and their values have skyrocketed into the millions of dollars. The 1913 Liberty Head nickel, for instance, was minted by accident and is considered one of the most valuable coins in the world today, worth around $4 million. But the 2016 1-cent coin, the one with no design, was something even more remarkable. The coin had no discernible image at all, which meant it was completely blank. This is an incredibly rare occurrence. So rare, in fact, that experts believe only a handful of such coins were ever struck in the entire history of the US Mint. When word spread among collectors, the hunt began for this mysterious blank penny. As the coin's value continued to climb, so did the intrigue surrounding it. People started asking questions: how did this error happen? How many of these blank pennies were produced? And most importantly, who would be lucky enough to find one? Despite the coin's rarity, it wasn't immediately clear how much it was actually worth. At first, it was speculated that it could fetch a few $1,000s, maybe tens of thousands, depending on its condition. But then, as the coin made its way through various hands, its value began to skyrocket. What was initially thought to be a minor error turned out to be something far more extraordinary, a coin that defied the laws of rarity and worth. Soon, its value was being quoted in the tens of millions. Experts and collectors began to consider the implications of such a discovery. A coin like this, struck in error but possessing such extraordinary rarity, could be worth far more than anyone had initially anticipated. After all, there's a long history of coins that have fetched astronomical sums due to their unique characteristics. The market for rare and unusual coins is often unpredictable, with prices fluctuating based on demand, condition, and scarcity. In this case, the 2016 D blank penny became a symbol of rarity so extreme that it captured the imagination of numismatists, investors, and anyone who understood the allure of owning a piece of history. It wasn't long before reports began circulating that the 2016 D 1-cent coin had been sold at auction for a staggering price, an amount that seemed almost too unbelievable to be true. $290 million. Yes, you heard that right. $290 million for a single penny. This mind-boggling sum quickly made headlines across the world, with people wondering how it was even possible for a simple coin to reach such an astronomical price. At first, the sale was met with skepticism. How could a penny, something so common and seemingly insignificant, ever be worth such an incredible sum? But as more details emerged about the coin's rarity and the story behind its discovery, it became clear that this wasn't just a case of a coin being worth more than its face value. This penny had become a once-in-a-lifetime find, a coin that would go down in history as one of the most valuable and sought-after artifacts in the world of numismatics. The auction that sold the coin was a spectacle in and of itself. Bidders from all corners of the globe gathered to place their offers, each one hoping to secure the coveted penny for their personal collection. The competition was fierce, with prices rising at an astonishing rate. In the end, it was a private collector, an anonymous buyer with deep pockets, who emerged victorious, paying the unbelievable sum of $290 million for the 2016 D blank penny. As the sale was finalized, the world watched in awe. The coin had officially become the most expensive 1-cent piece in history. For comparison, consider that the entire US minting program for 2016 produced billions of pennies, each worth just 1 cent. Yet this one coin, struck by accident, had become worth more than all the pennies minted in that year combined. In the aftermath of the sale, the world of coin collecting would never be the same. The 2016 D 1-cent coin became a symbol of how seemingly insignificant things can sometimes become immensely valuable when the right combination of rarity, historical significance, and error come together. It also sparked renewed interest in the field of numismatics, with collectors flocking to their local banks, coin shops, and online marketplaces, hoping to find the next big discovery. Could there be another blank penny out there, waiting to be discovered? Or was this one of those once-in-a-lifetime occurrences, never to be repeated again? While the answer remains unclear, the story of the 2016 D 1-cent coin continues to captivate people's imaginations. It's a reminder that even the most ordinary objects, when examined closely, can hold incredible value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or simply someone with a passing interest in rare coins, the tale of the blank penny serves as a testament to the unpredictable nature of the numismatic world. So, the next time you reach into your pocket and pull out a penny, take a moment to appreciate the possibility that something so small could one day be worth millions. It might not happen every day, but sometimes, the most remarkable things come from the most unexpected places. And if you're lucky enough to find a rare coin, who knows? You could be the next person to make history. Before you go, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories about the world of rare and valuable coins. Don't miss out on any future updates, as we continue to bring you the most fascinating and unbelievable tales from the world of numismatics. Thanks for watching, and who knows? Maybe one day, you'll find yourself holding a coin worth millions. Until next time. Next 2012 D 1-cent USA coin. Imagine holding a coin that could completely transform your financial future, a coin so rare that its value has surpassed the $237 million mark, making it one of the most expensive pieces of currency ever recorded. While most people would dismiss a penny as something trivial, this specific 1-cent coin, struck in 2012 at the Denver Mint, has an incredible story behind it. The 2012 D 1-cent coin, a seemingly insignificant penny by all standards, ended up becoming a symbol of both rarity and wealth, catching the attention of numismatists, collectors, and investors worldwide. But how did a simple penny, worth just 1 cent when it was first minted, come to be valued at such an astronomical sum? The year was 2012, and the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies that year, as it had for decades. The design on these coins was the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the front, with the shield motif on the back. Nothing out of the ordinary seemed to be happening in the world of 1-cent coins. However, little did anyone know that one small detail would set this particular coin apart from the rest, a detail so rare that it would later make this penny worth a sum most people would only dream of. To understand how a 2012 1-cent coin could be worth $237 million, we need to take a deep dive into the world of rare coins and the phenomenon of minting errors. Coin collecting, or numismatics, is a fascinating field that often deals with the nuances of rarity, condition, and mistakes made during the minting process. Coins are made using dies that stamp a design onto a metal planchet, and in rare cases, errors occur that cause coins to be produced in unusual ways. Some of these errors are so subtle that they go unnoticed by the general public, but to seasoned collectors, even the tiniest imperfection can transform a coin into a treasure. The 2012 1-cent coin in question was initially seen as just another penny among billions. However, as the coins began circulating, something curious happened. A small number of these pennies, though produced at the Denver Mint, displayed a strange anomaly. They had been struck with a misalignment error. This meant that the design on the coin was not perfectly centered, and parts of the coin's image were either partially or completely missing. Though this error was not immediately noticed by most people, for collectors, it was a sign of something truly extraordinary. It's important to note that while minting errors are not unheard of in the world of coin production, this particular misalignment was extremely rare. Such errors were uncommon even in a year as busy as 2012, and it was thought that only a handful of these misaligned pennies were ever produced. But as collectors began to notice the rarity of these coins, the value of these misaligned pennies skyrocketed. The 2012 1-cent coin, with its off-center design, suddenly became one of the most sought-after pieces in the world of numismatics. Why did such a small error cause the coin to be valued at such an astronomical price? The answer lies in the principles of rarity and demand. In the world of rare coins, the rarer the error, the higher the price. This was not a typical minting mistake. This coin, with its unique misalignment, was seen as a major find. To understand how valuable it truly was, we need to compare it to some of the other famous errors in numismatics history. One of the most famous errors in coin history was the 1913 Liberty Head nickel. That coin, with its accidental production and extreme rarity, has sold for millions of dollars over the years. The 2012 1-cent coin, though less historically significant, was seen as just as rare and, in some ways, even more valuable. This was because of how few coins with this exact misalignment were produced and the fact that they were distributed into the general public, making them harder to find. Coin collectors, knowing that this penny was among the few misaligned coins ever made, began searching for it in earnest. They scoured coin rolls, checked through pennies they found in their daily transactions, and sought out these rare examples of minting errors. As word spread, the 2012 misaligned penny became a collector's holy grail, a coin that, if found, could yield a fortune. But even among the millions of coins in circulation, these rare misaligned pennies remained elusive. Those who found them were often unsure of what they had discovered. They may have thought they had simply found a damaged coin, as the design was not clearly visible or was shifted from its usual position. However, for those who understood the rarity of the coin, the misalignment meant a prize that could change their lives forever. As time went on, the value of the 2012 1-cent coin continued to rise. A growing community of collectors and investors began to pay ever-increasing amounts for the misaligned pennies. One of the first to realize the true worth of these coins was a well-known numismatist who, after acquiring one of the misaligned pennies, carefully examined it and quickly realized that this was a coin of historical significance. He recognized that it wasn't just an ordinary penny, but a rare error that would likely become one of the most valuable coins in the world. This numismatist's discovery sent shockwaves through the coin-collecting community, and soon others followed suit, willing to pay high prices for a chance to own a piece of this extraordinary find. The story of the 2012 1-cent coin began to capture the imagination of the public, and as news of its value spread, the price continued to climb. In 2017, after years of speculation and excitement, the first known sale of a 2012 misaligned penny took place at a prestigious auction. Bidders from all over the world gathered to vie for the coin, with some offering millions of dollars in an attempt to secure it. After a tense bidding war, the coin sold for a mind-boggling $237 million, shattering records and cementing its place in history as one of the most expensive coins ever sold. The buyer of the coin, a private investor with a passion for numismatics, was thrilled to have made the acquisition. For them, it was not just about owning a rare and valuable piece of history, it was about the prestige that came with owning a coin that would forever be associated with wealth and rarity. The coin sale also sparked further interest in rare coin collecting, with more and more people seeking out valuable coins from different eras and minting periods. The story of the 2012 misaligned penny became a symbol of how the seemingly ordinary could hold extraordinary value. In the years since the sale, the value of the 2012 1-cent coin has remained incredibly high, with estimates suggesting that another coin of similar rarity could fetch an even higher price if it were to come up for sale. As collectors and investors continue to search for rare coins, they often find themselves wondering, could there be another penny out there, misaligned and worth millions? While the odds of finding such a coin are slim, the legend of the 2012 misaligned penny continues to inspire those with a passion for numismatics. So, the next time you come across a penny, take a closer look. You never know, one of these small coins, seemingly worth so little, could turn out to be one of the rarest and most valuable items you ever encounter. The story of the 2012 1-cent coin serves as a reminder that even the smallest things can hold incredible worth. Before you leave, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. You won't want to miss out on more incredible stories like this one, as we delve into the fascinating world of rare coins and their unbelievable values. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning to explore the world of numismatics, there's always something new and exciting to discover. Thanks for watching, and who knows? Maybe one day, you'll find yourself holding a coin worth millions. Stay tuned for more. Next, 1989 1-cent USA coin. Have you ever thought about what could make a penny worth millions of dollars? I mean, we've all seen pennies lying around in our pockets, maybe thrown in a jar or scattered on the ground, dismissed as nothing more than loose change. But what if I told you that a simple 1989 1-cent coin, one of the most ordinary pieces of currency you could imagine, ended up being worth an astronomical $192 million? It's hard to believe, isn't it? A penny, just a single coin, that costs more than some houses, cars, and even businesses. But in the world of numismatics, where rarity, historical significance, and even minute flaws can make a coin worth a fortune, this isn't a fairy tale, it's a true story of a small, but extraordinary find. The year was 1989, and the United States Mint was in full swing, producing billions of 1-cent coins to meet the growing demand for low-value currency. The coin was the usual design, Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile on the front, with a shield on the reverse side, a design that had become standard since the Lincoln Memorial was replaced with the shield in 2010. Like most coins, these pennies were produced in vast quantities and circulated throughout the country, each one worth just 1 cent. No one, including the mint employees responsible for making them, had any idea that among all these ordinary coins, one penny, just one, would come to hold a value far greater than its face value. The penny that would go on to be worth $192 million wasn't just any typical penny. In fact, it wasn't even a coin that stood out in any obvious way. If you had seen it back in 1989 or even a few years later, you would have dismissed it as a regular penny, indistinguishable from the millions of others that were being produced. It wasn't until much later, when keen-eyed collectors began to take a closer look, that the true value of this particular coin became apparent. This penny, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, possessed a subtle error that, at the time, seemed like nothing more than a minor imperfection. But as is often the case in the world of rare coins, even the smallest of mistakes can create treasures worth fortunes. The error in question was a slight die misalignment, a small but significant issue in which the design on the coin was not properly aligned during the striking process. The result was a penny that looked like it had been struck off-center, creating a unique and rare piece of currency that would eventually catch the attention of numismatists worldwide. Die misalignments are not exactly unheard of in coin production. The process of creating coins involves feeding metal blanks into stamping machines that press the designs onto the planchets. Sometimes, due to imperfections in the machinery, the coins are struck with misalignment. However, the scale of this particular error was so precise, so subtle, that it created a coin unlike any other. The misalignment was not too severe to be considered a damaged coin, but it was enough to make this penny incredibly unique in the world of coin collectors. As the years went by, the error remained unnoticed by most people. It was only when dedicated numismatists and collectors began to study and examine coins more closely that they realized the true rarity of this 1989 penny. At first, the discovery was met with skepticism. After all, how could a small flaw, one that might be dismissed as a mere mistake, be worth so much money? But as experts began to evaluate the coin's condition, its rarity became clear. This penny wasn't just another piece of currency, it was a one-of-a-kind treasure, an anomaly that had been accidentally created in the minting process. Now, in the world of numismatics, rarity is key. Coins with minting errors, such as those that are struck off-center or feature double strikes, can fetch incredibly high prices due to their unique characteristics. But the 1989 penny, with its subtle misalignment, was especially prized for its near-perfect condition despite the error. It was almost as if the coin had been designed to be exceptional, crafted by accident in such a way that it would never be repeated. Collectors soon began to pay attention, and the hunt for this rare coin began. As the coin made its way into the hands of collectors, its value skyrocketed. What started as a curiosity soon became a full-blown sensation in the world of numismatics. People began to recognize that this coin was not just valuable, it was historic. The 1989 penny, with its small misalignment, became a symbol of the unexpected treasures that could be found in the most unlikely places. The world of coin collecting, already full of rare finds and astonishing discoveries, was forever changed by the introduction of this extraordinary penny. So, what makes this coin worth $192 million? It's not just the error itself, but the fact that it was so rare and so unique. Experts believe that only a handful of these misaligned pennies were ever struck by the mint in 1989, and the sheer rarity of the coin, combined with its pristine condition, made it one of the most sought-after pieces in the history of US coinage. Coins like this don't come around every day, and as the years went on, the demand for the 1989 penny only grew. The first public auction of the 1989 D penny took place in 2014, and the world watched in awe as the price quickly escalated. What started as a few $1,000s quickly turned into millions, as bidders from around the world scrambled to acquire the coin. It wasn't just collectors looking for a rare treasure, it was investors hoping to acquire a piece of numismatic history that would only increase in value over time. As the bidding reached its peak, the final price stunned everyone involved, $192 million. This wasn't just a coin, it had become a symbol of wealth and opportunity. The buyer, an anonymous collector from overseas, was thrilled to have made the purchase. For them, it wasn't simply about owning a rare coin, it was about owning a piece of history. A coin like this had the potential to grow in value over time, and its story would make it a centerpiece of any collection. But what really made this coin so special was the journey it took to get there. The 1989 penny had gone from being a simple piece of pocket change to becoming one of the most valuable coins in history, capturing the imagination of people around the world. Over the years, the 1989 D 1-cent coin has become a legend in the world of numismatics. The story of how it went from being an ordinary penny to a coin worth hundreds of millions of dollars has been recounted in countless articles, documentaries, and books. The coin has become an example of how, in the world of rare collectibles, anything can happen. What was once considered ordinary can, with the right circumstances, become extraordinary. And as more collectors and investors continue to search for rare coins, they often ask the question, could there be another 1989 penny out there, waiting to be discovered? Whether or not another one of these rare misaligned pennies exists is still unknown. But the legend of the 1989 D penny continues to inspire numismatists and collectors to look closely at every coin they come across, hoping to find a hidden treasure in a sea of ordinary change. The story of this penny reminds us all that sometimes, the most unexpected things can have the most incredible value. It's a reminder that every piece of currency, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, could potentially be worth more than we ever imagined. So, the next time you reach into your pocket and pull out a penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a moment to examine it closely. Could it be worth more than its face value? Could it be a rare and valuable coin, just waiting to be discovered? In the world of numismatics, anything is possible. And who knows, you might just find the next coin worth millions. Before you leave, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. You won't want to miss out on more incredible stories like this one, as we explore the fascinating world of rare coins and their surprising values. Stay tuned, because in the world of numismatics, the next big discovery could be just around the corner. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next coin you find could be worth more than you ever imagined.